Hey, welcome to another episode of GeekOutdoors.com. And on my continuing series on making the move from Windows or Mac over to Linux, today I'm going to be talking about video editing in Linux. Specifically, I'm going to be showing you the tools that I use so that I can have a complete video editing setup on my Linux Mint machine. And the best thing is that all of this is free. Now, before I start, if you have not seen my original video on how to install VirtualBox and then on how to install Linux Mint 18 in there, be sure to check it out in the description below. So I'm going to go ahead and do this inside my virtual machine. So I have Linux Mint 18 installed here. So we're just going to go in here. So here, okay. So whenever you install Linux Mint, it already has a lot of tools built in already. Okay, everything from your office, video, music, a lot of stuff that you would normally use, it's already here. So what if you're the type of person who wanted to start creating videos, editing videos, producing videos, or maybe you want to make tutorials like this? Well, you're going to need the proper tools to do it. And the great thing about Linux is that there's so many wonderful tools that are open source and that are free. Okay, to start off with, I do want to say that this is primarily for people who are not pro video editors. So if you are a pro video editor, meaning you're using Adobe products, or you're using Final Cut Pro or anything like that, then this video is probably not for you. Okay, so with that being put out of the way, the first thing you're going to need is some type of video editor. Okay, so I'm going to show you two that I use. So the first thing you want to do is go to your software manager. So go to administration, then your software manager. You just type in your password. And I'm going to show you the difference between a basic video editing tool and then one that is more medium to even advanced. So the first one you want to look up is OpenShot. Now you can always go by category and look up sound and video, okay? And a lot of what you need is already here. So, or you could just type it in, okay? But if you go here to the sound and video, a lot of what you need is already here. Okay, so the first one is your video editor. I would recommend you downloading OpenShot. Okay, so just double click on it and then you just click on install right here, which is what I'm going to do. And OpenShot, I feel, is an absolutely wonderful tool for people who are new to video editing and who just want to do a lot of basic video editing, really quick and quick and simple video editing. Now it does have a lot of functionality too in there as well, and I'll show you that once it finishes installing. And then the second video editor that you want to download is actually for more medium to even advanced, and that is Kdenlive. And you're probably gonna have to look it up, so let's go ahead and type that in. Or actually, you probably have to go back to categories and then type it in. Okay, there's Kdenlive. So it looks like OpenShot, looks like that's already been installed. Yep, so let's go ahead and install Kdenlive. We'll do the same thing. And what I'm doing right now first is I'm going to show you all the tools that you need to download. And then after that, I'm just going to show you a really quick overview of the tools. But the whole point of this video is basically to show people who are moving over from Windows or Mac that there are already solutions that are very similar, or in my opinion better than what is offered for free on Windows, okay, or even on Mac. So there are a lot of great tools on both OSs, but I feel like in Linux you're getting some really powerful tools. You don't have to spend any money on them as well, okay. Whereas in Windows world, just to give you an example, you can do a lot of the same things for free as well. So I just wanted to show people that if you are moving over to Linux, if you did any type of really basic to even medium level video editing, that you don't have to worry. Whenever you do move over to Linux, there are tools available. Okay, so while that's installing, let me go show you some other tools that you will need. So besides the video editor, I also recommend that you download some type of webcam software. Okay, so if you have a web camera and if this isn't on a laptop, you still want to download some type of webcam software, because as Linux Mint doesn't come with a built-in webcam software. Okay, so the first one you want to download is Cheese. And I know that's a funny name, but it's actually meant to say cheese when you're smiling. You say, so you double click on that. We're going to install this as well. And so okay, and the other webcam software you want to download is GUC View. And this is the one that I primarily use, and so that didn't show up. So let's try that again. Okay, so maybe I typed that in wrong. Let's go GU. There it is. It's GUVC. So yeah, I gotta learn how to spell. Now there are other tools here in Linux available, but I just want to cover the ones that I'm actually using. I have used other tools as well, but these have consistently worked the best. They're the most stable, and they perform the best as well. Okay, so what we have here right now, so we've downloaded video editors. So you go to Sound and Videos, you see OpenShot, also Kdenlive, and we've also downloaded two webcam software, Cheese and GUVC View. Now another piece of software that you definitely want to download is some type of audio editing software. So the one I recommend is Audacity, and you could look it up. Yeah, it's probably easier just to look it up because it didn't. Oh, there it is. Or you could just type it in, but just go ahead and install Audacity. And the final pieces of software is some type of screen recording software. Okay, so the ones I recommend I would rather go to the websites for these, because one of them, I'm pretty sure it's not available here in the software manager. Let me see if I can find it. Simple screen recorder. I don't think it is available in here. Yeah, so let me try another one. Let me try screen recorder. If I could learn how to spell. Okay, I don't see it here. Okay, so and then the other one is OBS. So I just want to make sure they're not here. Okay, so the other two is actually screen recording software. And as you can see there, it's not in the software manager. So you're gonna have to go to their websites, and these are absolutely amazing tools. And a lot of people are familiar with OBS because it is available on every single platform, and it's an awesome tool. So first is OBS. So it's OBS project. Okay, and then the second one is going to be Simple Screen Recorder. Now in Linux, other screen recording options are things like Vocal Screen or Record My Desktop, but I don't really like them that much. I've tried them before, and they're not as stable and not as fully featured. Okay. And the reason why I'm downloading both is because I use both, and I use them for different reasons. Okay, so the first one I'm going to install is Simple Screen Recorder. Okay, now this one is going to require you to use the command line, and so don't be scared. It's very, very simple. Okay, so we're going to go down to Ubuntu Linux Mint. Okay, so you're going to follow these directions. You're going to basically copy and paste these lines. So you're going to open up your terminal. Okay, so this is for Simple Screen Recorder first. You just basically highlight this. Okay, you copy, then you paste, and then you just put in your password. Then press enter. Okay, so what you just did there was you added the repository. If you're not familiar with what that is, that's okay. And so the next thing is you're going to go ahead and update so that it knows that this repository is actually one that you could actually download from. Great, repository has been added. And then finally, you could install Simple Screen Recorder. And don't worry about this part below, okay? Just do these first three lines one by one. Okay, and if it's finished correctly, if you go down to your sound and video, you should see Simple Screen Recorder. Okay, so that one's done. So the next one is OBS, and OBS is definitely one that is more advanced. It can do so many things besides simple screen recording, and it does gameplay. You could do webinars, you could do live. There's a lot of things you could do. However, I really feel like you should still download Simple Screen Recorder because, as the name implies, it's very simple to use, and it's actually what I'm using right now to record this particular tutorial. So here you just download the Linux version, And actually it's going to be similar to the other one. It's going to be command line. I forgot that this was not actually a install. So let's see what we have. So the first thing you want to do is add the repositories just like before. So since we are running Linux Mint 18, which is a new version, we should be okay. We shouldn't have to install this ffmpeg, okay? So we'll find out for sure. Just go ahead and add this. So this will add the repository, and then we'll install OBS Studio. Well, in this case, it's update and install. So we'll go ahead and add this repository. Okay, press enter. All right, now we're gonna run these two commands that are combined. It's gonna update and then install OBS. Okay. Yes, you want to continue. All right, when you're done, go down to sound and video, make sure it's there, and there it is. There's OBS. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and exit this right now. Okay, so that was a very simple process, and what you just did was basically you have all the tools that you need to pretty much have a complete video editing solution. Okay, so let's go through each of these one by one of what you have. Okay, so the first thing is you have your video editors. So OpenShot, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, is actually for very simple video editing. Now, if you did want to add like special effects on here, you will have to download some other plugins. So all you'd have to do is go back to your software manager right here, and what you could do is just highlight this, you know, then copy, and then you'll paste it right here. Okay, and then you'll go ahead and install this plugins, so then you can do effects. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this. Now you can run OpenShot without those effects, but it's nice that you have everything available. So we'll wait until that finishes installing. Okay, once that's been installed, you should be able to open up OpenShot without seeing that message again. So we'll go back to sound and video, OpenShot, and bam. So all your effects are here. Okay, so like I said, OpenShot I really feel is a great tool for you to really do some very quick and simple video edits, and it does have a lot of other options as well. So it's a very easy tool to use, and probably the closest comparison I could have to the Windows world is Windows Movie Maker, but I really feel that this is a more powerful tool than Windows Movie Maker. Okay, so that's OpenShot. Now the second video editor that you installed is Kdenlive, and it's actually my preferred video editor. So as you can see here, there are a lot more tools. It does have a higher learning curve, but Kdenlive is definitely a lot more powerful. And so if you are somebody who is used to using video editing tools, whether it be Windows or Mac, this is probably going to be the tool for you. And if you are the type of person who is new to video editing, or who just does not want to do a lot of advanced stuff, then OpenShot is a better choice. But either or, I would say definitely install both, so that you have both options. Now the other tools that you have installed are your screen recorders. So here's Simple Screen Recorder. Extremely easy to use. You're just gonna have to do your basic setup, and then once you do, and like I said, you're gonna probably have to spend just a few minutes to set this up, but once you do, it is extremely easy to use. I find that just for simplicity and also for stability and features, for a basic simple screen recording tool, I don't think there's anything better on Linux than Simple Screen Recorder. It's better than Vocal Screen or GTK Record My Desktop. Okay, now if you could kind of see a theme here, you know, there's a basic and then there's a more advanced. Okay, so the same thing goes for screen recording. If you want to do more advanced stuff, you'll go and use OBS. And OBS is used on every single operating system. It is an extremely powerful open source screen recording, screen capture, web conferencing, gameplay. You know, it's live. Everything that you do here, it is extremely powerful and has a lot of features. So once again, you know, this one, similar to Kden Live for video editing, this is definitely going to have a higher learning curve than you would on simple screen recording. But once again, you know, this is a lot more power for people who actually want it. And you know, it's nice to have both so that you do have that option. Now, the other final tool that I would say for your whole video production setup is Audacity. So Audacity, like OBS, is available on every single platform. So if you use Audacity in Windows or Mac, you should feel right at home. I definitely recommend you download this because, you know, if you're going to get into more video production, you definitely want a tool where you could edit any of your audio or maybe improve it. So these are all the tools that I think that you should definitely have when you are using Linux and you wanted a video setup. And for a lot of people, this is going to be not just good, but it's going to be great. So if you had any other thoughts on video editing or audio editing or whatever it might be when it comes to multimedia in Linux, be sure to leave it in the comments area below. And as always, if you did get a lot of value out of these videos, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And if you wanted to support my channel, you could also head to my Patreon page at patreon.com/Geek Outdoors. This information is also in the description area below. Thanks for watching. See you in another episode. Thanks for checking out this episode. And as always, if you like these videos, be sure to click on the subscribe button. And for full written content, audio content, and additional geek stuff, head over to geekoutdoors.com. And I'll see you outdoors on the very next episode.